almost 2 years ago when we were in the midst of the shutdown for the pandemic, I got really into the musical Hamilton. A lot of people had already been into it for a while, but I finally saw it or watched it on Disney Plus, and then got really into it. And I was listening to the songs all the time, and I loved the storyline. Especially, there's one part that is really beautiful, and if you've seen it, great. If you haven't, sorry for a spoiler. But there's a time where Hamilton's got a lot of motivation, a lot of ambition, and he lets this get away from him, and he does some things, and particularly hurts his wife in terrible ways. And it's just like terrible to see her suffer. And there's a moment though where he is also grieving, and she is grieving at the same time, but she turns to him in forgiveness. There's a moment the chorus sings forgiveness, and it's totally undeserved for him. It's totally undeserved because of his actions just being so terrible. And in her grief, she could just push him away, but she decides to turn toward him, and it makes the relationship much stronger. It's the kind of forgiveness and the kind of second chances that our God gives to us. We see today how God is a God of second chances. That today in the book of Exodus, we hear how Moses comes down the mountain and finds all of the people, they're worshiping this molten calf. This calf made of gold that they thought that Moses was gone, and so now they've started to worship a different image. And God is angry. He wants to destroy the people. But Moses stands in the breach before God and says, no, Lord, remember your mercy, your kindness. Remember your promise to Abraham and your promise to these people as well. And so he allows them to live, but makes them grind up the golden calf, and they have to drink up the shards of that in water. That's kind of what we have to do as well with our own sinfulness. Jesus gives compassion even to the Pharisees and scribes who he's speaking to today, because he's telling them why they should believe his testimony. He has no need to do this, but he's telling them these are the reasons you should understand these things. John the Baptist has spoken of me. The prophets have spoken about me. And Moses himself, who you use as your basis for all of your teachings, he speaks about me, and he's the one who will judge you. This isn't some, Jesus trying to school them, trying to make himself look better. This is Jesus showing mercy, saying, this is what you should understand already. Look at this. He's giving them a second chance, just like God gave the people of Israel a second chance in the desert, and how he gives us a second chance each and every day because we're sinful. We don't deserve his mercy. But the Lord is merciful and kind, and he wants to forgive us. But it doesn't mean that we can presume on that forgiveness. It doesn't mean that we can go about each day and do as we please, knowing that God is going to forgive us later. But what it does mean is that when we have sinned, we need not be afraid to approach the throne of mercy. God is merciful. He forgives us our sins, especially in the sacrament of confession. Please make use of that sacrament if you have not yet by the end of this Lenten season. So today we give thanks to the Lord because he is a God of second chances, and we know we need those second chances because he is merciful and just, and he wants us to live with him one day in heaven.